DDP, and I'm standing here with Peter at the Gladstone Hotel for the media launch for Afro-Fest 2013. Peter, you're the coordinator. How much time does it take to organize something like this?
1 year.
A whole year?
It takes a whole year.
A whole year?
Yes, it does. Reason being that immediately after the festival, we have to write reports for the government to start applying for funding for next year's festival.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So the government actually does a little bit of funding for you.
Yes, they actually play a very big role in making the festival happen. So we take the reports, the surveys that we give out. We have to file a report, and after that, then we can now submit this report to the government and then apply for new funding. So even though it happens once a year, the planning is 1 full year.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty much like any kind of festival, like a film festival or anything like that. Now, this will be your second year at the Woodbine Park. How amazing is that? That's a big venue.
Yes, it is a very big venue, and it is interesting that we got moved to the Woodbine Park. Reason being that, technically speaking, the Queen's Park is supposed to be able to handle 9 to 12,000 people at any point in time. And so the government of Ontario, the city council told us that, look, you know what, you guys have grown bigger than this park.
Which is a good thing. That's a very good thing. That's an amazing thing.
It is. And so we now told ourselves, okay, now what do we do? Went back to city council and proposed. We had a couple of venues, and Woodbine Park, amazing. The councillor accepted that we should host the festival in her riding, which was great. And we done it the first year. The feedback was great, and now they've allowed us to come back a second year.
Well, now I live a block away from the park, so last year was the first time that I was able to go in and see it. I was there on the Sunday afternoon. It was a great event, and now as for the second year being out there, I mean, I know it's definitely a family-friendly event, but now I understand this year you're going to have more things geared towards kids with storytelling, face painting, maybe doing arts and crafts. So it's really a big family event now. It's no longer just an adult music festival. It's for absolutely everybody to enjoy the sounds of Africa.
Yes, Afro-Fest has always been very inclusive. Now the face painting, the children's village, which is storytelling and the workshops and everything, that has gone on for a while. But now what is new this year is the fact that we're partnering up with G98.7 radio station, and we're going to have a dance competition. Now this is in an effort to make sure that the youth have something to look forward to. Because if you have a dance competition and say, okay, every year this is going to happen, then even if somebody's not an artist, they feel that they've got something to do. Plus, there are prizes that they can win. Like the top prize is $500.
Wow, okay.
Now to somebody, to a kid or to a youth today, that's quite a bit of money. So they can go out and with the quote unquote youth violence. In Toronto, at least, it gives them something to do.
Yeah, definitely. Now you have a lot of corporate sponsors. Maybe we should have Apple in there giving out iPods. That would be definitely something that the youth would be dancing for. Now, if we go to your website, now for anybody who wants to get involved in the dance competition, do they have to go to your website and fill out an application, or do they just come down and show up and it's a matter of elimination?
Actually, yes. This year, considering that it's our first year, we try to do it in such a way that it's going to be a matter of that they register beforehand. But the feedback right now, I've got about 10 applicants, and an idea at first was to have at least 20 applicants, and so that doesn't give us enough to go by. And so what we've decided to do is we are going to call out. And so, if you want, yes. So we have the 10 applicants, which of course will be given some kind of preference for actually taking the time to apply. But then, considering that we're also going to call out, we're going to leave it open for anybody who is interested, anybody who feels that they have what it takes to become Afro-Fest Dance of 2013 can do it. And that's one element. Now on the main stage, the biggest act of that Afro-Fest has had in a long time, we've got Alpha Blondy. Now when you talk of reggae in Africa, you have to put Alpha Blondy's picture right there.
Okay, yeah.
Because he is the guy who has represented African reggae for a very long time.
Nice.
And so having him come to the 25th anniversary is pretty big for us.
Wow, that sounds really exciting.
Yes.
It does sound really exciting.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, and no, and we obviously we're looking forward to this. Last year we had a crowd of about just on the main stage, the final act, we had about 10,000 people watching the final act.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And Alpha Blondie traditionally pulls very, very big crowds. So we don't know what's going to happen, and we just hope that it is everything that happens is going to be positive.
Oh, you know what? I'm sure it will be because, again, I live a block away from the park, and the festival last year it seemed like it was a success. I'm sure you might even have a few 100,000 people there this year. Now, there's going to be all kinds of food. We're going to have vendors who are selling arts and crafts from Native Africa, and will there be? I guess will there be representatives from each cultures, different countries that'll be there with booths that'll be able to explain to people. You know, for myself, I was born and raised in Toronto, so it's a little different for me. I've never had a chance to go to Africa, but I guess there'll be a lot of information booths for people so they can learn. You know, maybe even take the plane and go.
Okay. Yes. Basically, we've got a membership table, and that's our information booth, so you can get a lot of information about the festival. Now we don't have as at this point in time, and maybe we'll look into doing that some other festivals, but right now we don't have a specific booth where you can go and learn about Africa.
Okay.
Yes, but that is something that we're definitely looking forward to doing. And once we get that rolling, to do something like this, it has to involve the various individual countries giving us material. Because I'm from Cameroon, I can present material from Cameroon, but I don't have material from other countries. And considering that the board of directors, some are African, some are non-African, it will be unfair to present just a few countries.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That
So
makes sense.
we're looking. We actually thought of doing it this year, but it didn't work out. So next year, but we even though it didn't work out, we have a foundation laid down.
Nice.
Yes,
Okay, that's good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and every year is growing bigger and bigger, and
Yeah.
you're adding more to it.
Yeah, so next year definitely we're going to get into the contacts that we have and try to get a booth, like a tourism booth. Where
Okay, yeah.
somebody who wants to go to Africa can actually come there, get information about Africa in general, the culture, what actually attracts people to each specific country, investment opportunities, so to speak.
Okay.
And they can learn about the continent. So that if they want to go, they know where to go to and how to prepare themselves before going there.
Oh, good. Okay, so now if anybody wants to know, they can go to www.afrofest.com
Yes, they can go to www.afrofest.ca, afrofest.org, musicafrica.ca. Yeah, so we have all the. It will link you to the same spot.
Oh, right on. Very
Yes.
good. Okay, well, now, as you can hear, the music is starting inside. I think that's Jacko playing right now. So, you know, I don't want to take too much more of your time because I know you're a busy man, but I just want to ask one more question because now that you've spent all this time organizing it, once the festival's over, what are you going to do for a couple of days? Are you going to take a couple of days off or are you going to go right back to work for next year?
No, trust me. You don't go to after working so hard like this to build the festival. You don't go to rest immediately.
Okay.
What I do is I usually try to get my reports ready. It take about 2 weeks to finish it, and then I rest.
Then you're rest.
Because then everything is still fresh on my mind. If you leave it before coming back to it, you may forget a few things. You may say, okay, hey, I was supposed to speak to this person. I never got in touch with the person. So the idea, what I find works for me is get everything immediately after the festival. Speak to everybody you have to speak to immediately after the festival, and then rest for about 2 months.
Wow, okay. So, and I know, I mean, I must imagine in Africa that all of you organizers, yourself and Michael Storr, you guys are considered heroes. So good for you, and thank you very much for including us, and I can't wait for next month for the festival. Thank you, Pierre. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you online. Thank you.
DDP Studios Incorporated. We make thinking fun.